On this episode of Lapeef Let's Talk.
The person was it, then you would just stop there.
Right.
You said I put him in a box.
So you don't go on another date with them. You
said I put him in a box. You said I put him in a box as one of the fun ones. You didn't say you disassociate yourself with him.
Yeah, like as one of the fun ones. So like he invites out, like, you know, him and his friends do things, or things are happening. Like, hey, I'll come, I'll hang out, you know, whatever, parties, whatever. But like, I'm not going to do any intimate things with you, or like give you any time or anything like that. If you know.
You know, that means going with the flow. The definition of going with the flow is to nonchalantly engage in a
situation. Right, because just like I said, if he's going with the flow, cool. Cool. I'm cool with that.
But he shouldn't be in a box, is what we're saying.
I'm not taking you serious.
Like, he shouldn't be in any box. He should be gone, because that's not what you want. Why would you even entertain him to be in a box?
Or Humble Dad, she's not as serious about being in a relationship as she's putting on to be, or as she's expecting me to be.
Let me specify that for AC Trill. Well, we lived together and were together for right at 5 years of engaged. So it was a very long relationship. And that was on me that it wasn't marriage.
No, I don't think that's what Trill is saying. I think did he get what he wanted?
Yeah, so
I don't think that's what Trill is saying. Basically, sometimes men tell us what we want to hear.
I'm good, bro.
Like men tell us sometimes what we want to hear. So did he get the panties after saying that a couple days? Like that, I'm not trying to say you. I'm just saying men do say stuff we want to hear, especially at certain ages. You know, we want to be married, we want to be loved. So men gonna say what's gonna feed our egos. Oh, we believe him,
and that's true. And sometimes it doesn't always work out, and sometimes those guys aren't the right guys. And sometimes they are, and then it turns into a relationship, and then that goes into an engagement, and then that goes into a marriage. It's a process. But I mean, if he said that to you and then he just kept it moving, then that's just, you know, you just chuck it up to the game.
Right.
But he said it to me, and I'm in a relationship, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we can't act like that doesn't happen. Because it doesn't.
Let me get Humble Dad here. What you think, Humble Dad?
Well, I kind of think cross between what some of the people are saying. Like, to say this a red flag, it kind of depends on the timing, you know, like if it's at the beginning, saying that I'm just going with the flow, it depends on what, like the guy knows if he's ready to be married or not. Right. And so when he's saying that I'm going with the flow, he's trying to feel out what the woman is going to say. Oftentimes, if I was to say that I'm going with the flow, just me, period. I mean, that's really what I mean. Like, I'm trying to figure out if you're the one for me. Or if I even want to date you anymore or talk to you. So it also kind of depends on the individual, because some dudes do play games like that, you know. But I think it's an honest statement if someone's saying I'm going with the flow, and if the woman is like, you know, well, I want a different relationship, then you can't make that dude change his perspective of wanting to go with the flow.
But I mean, let's just be honest though. Most women is not walking away from that. If a man say, "I'm just going, I just want to go with the flow," let's just keep it G. She really likes him, right? And especially if we talking about first date, second date, and men know this. That's what the men are saying. Men know how y'all think, especially older women. If we're gonna keep it G, there's a bit more urgency with y'all trying to settle down, right? So if I'm trying to get in here and finesse and finagle my way, I'm gonna say what I know that you want to hear, and I know serious relationship is what you want to hear. That time clock is ticking, and looking at your friends getting married. You done been a bridesmaid 4 times, and you ain't made it yet. Like there's a bit of urgency here. So I'm gonna use that to get what I want. But again, I think, you know, you as a woman, I think that's a green flag if I'm gonna be real, because he's revealing to you exactly where I'm at. This is exactly where I'm at. And if you don't want this, walk. But let's keep it real. 9 times out of 10, the women is not going nowhere. They're going to stay right there, be patient, and try to hope and pray one day that he chooses me to take serious. And that's how y'all fall victim to, you know, situations that y'all fall victim.
Well, you agreeing with us? That's what we said. We didn't say it was a red flag. We said we're taking the man for his word. He said if he's going with the flow, and it was like,
cool.
Okay.
But you said that you think I wouldn't leave him alone.
No, I think that's how I would categorize him. Like if I was just like a single girl, I would just categorize him like.
So why would you still deal with him?
That, Humble Dad.
If you're looking to be married.
We didn't say that, Humble. That was Trill saying all that.
Okay, I'm lying?
But I don't understand how that means that he's not serious just because he said he's going with the flow.
Right, that's what I was saying.
How does that mean he's not serious?
Well, what Kayla said, it was that she would put him in a category, which I definitely understand. So
and he could come out of that category if his actions prove something different. He could come out of that category, but I would categorize him as like, you know, just one of the fun ones, like, you know, where you just do fun.
So how would you know when he became serious? How would you know when he became serious? If he's in the box of that, I don't know, whatever this box is. You know what I'm saying?
Not serious box. The
non-serious so he's saying box? That I'm going with the flow. He's saying that I'm going with the flow.
Okay. Right? Going with the flow box.
And so he's in the box. How does he come out of the box is what I'm saying.
I mean, he starts showing actions and words, both that are opposite of that, of, you know, doing other things that are not go with the flow. Like if he's showing that he wants more than that, and he starts to do things that convey that, he starts to speak that way, he becomes consistent with it. Like that's totally different. Like, so, but I mean, if this is to me, the only way that you go in that box is if it's at the beginning. If it's time in and you say something like that, oh no, it's definitely a red flag. It's definitely like, nah, like deading you then, because we've been doing this for a while and you should know by now. But in the beginning, like I said, if he's saying that, then I'll just like, you know, he's just cool. Like,
no, how much time do you give him to be in this box?
Great question.
There's no time frame. I'm no longer like focused on him anymore. He's out the doorway.
If you're not focused on him, how does he come out of the box?
Effort. As a single person, you're single, so you're not really focused on any specific person specifically until you like start to do that with someone. You're just meeting people, you're going on dates, you're getting to know people, and then if you meet someone, you know, you meet someone, and then you start talking to everybody else, and then you know, and then that's how it goes.
So you're going with the flow essentially.
Right.
I mean, not really. I mean, I guess that can sound like I'm going with the flow, but for me, it's not, because when you meet someone and they're not the one, and you move them out of the way and you move on to the next person, how's that going with the flow?
No, that's not what you said. You said I put them in a box.
You would just stop there.
Right. You said I put them in a box.
So you don't go on another date with them. You
said I put them in a box. You said I put them in a box as one of the fun ones. You didn't say you disassociate yourself with them.
Yeah, like as one of the fun ones. So like he invites out, like, you know, him and his friends do things, or things are happening like, hey, I'll come, I'll hang out, you know, whatever, parties, whatever. But like, I'm not going to do any intimate things with you or like give you any time or anything like that. If, you know,
that means going with the flow. The definition of going with the flow is to nonchalantly engage in a
situation. Right. Because just like I said, if he's going with the flow, cool. Cool. I'm cool with that.
But he shouldn't be in a box, is what we're saying.
I'm not taking you serious.
Like he shouldn't be in any box. He should be gone, because that's not what you want. Why would you even entertain him to be in a box?
Or Humble Dad, she's not as serious about being in a relationship as she's putting on to be, or as she's expecting me to be.